go, motherfucker! It's your boy, Eat That Pussy 445, man. And I'm here up in this fucking bitch, and it's time for the Fantasy Outsiders podcast. Let's go, little bitch!
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Week 4 preview show of the Fantasy Football Outsiders podcast. I'm Justin Reed.
Oh, man.
I'm joined by the crew, as always, and our special guest, David Rojas.
Hey,
what's up?
Welcome to the show.
Jets.
Only Jets fan.
He made sure to come by for the Thursday night game.
To talk that talk.
Yeah,
After
talk that
shouting
talk.
him out multiple times, he's finally here.
Yeah. So let's get right into it. Speaking of the Thursday night game, pretty decent game for two very bad teams.
Pretty nice highlights.
Yeah.
I think David's got to take the narration over this.
Yeah.
The whole
Mr.
narration.
David, what do you think about the Jets?
Yeah. How'd the game go?
Well. Sam Darnold looked amazing as always.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, that's Jack.
No, Sam Darnold looked good. For the offensive line that he has and the wide receivers that he has, I mean, I think he played pretty well. That freaking, 46-yard touchdown run that he
46-yard
had
touchdown, yeah.
was a really nice run. Besides that, I mean, their O-line's looking trash. Becton's hurt, so I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah.
They still don't have any receivers. They can't get any receivers open for Sam Darnold to throw it past 5 yards, so they can't get any big plays. The wide receivers can't get separation after that because our best receiver is freaking Chris Hogan.
And Jameson Crowder was all right.
Jameson Crowder's all right.
How did Braxton Berrios do?
Zero.
Alright, I was expecting.
Actually, zero.
The one good part about this whole thing was the Jets' defense actually looked semi-decent. I mean, the D-line's been playing okay.
Yeah.
Our corners are still trash. Safety's still trash.
They had a defensive touchdown.
And then, I mean, we're still missing, like, our three best defensive players.
Yeah.
So,
I have a question for you.
yes.
What is Le'Veon going to do when he comes back for the Jets?
It depends if Adam Gase is still there or not.
I just got a notification saying that he's not going to get fired from Bleacher Report.
I don't
They said
understand.
his job wasn't on the line tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
So next week it will be.
Yeah.
Or,
Give it a couple more games.
I think if Le'Veon, or when Le'Veon comes back, I think he'll get a little bit more workload.
Mhm.
But after that, you won't see much change from 2019. I mean, Adam Gase doesn't know how to utilize him, doesn't know how to work with what Le'Veon has. And, I mean, the O-line that we have, we can't even open up holes for this man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty stinky.
Is it tank for Trevor Lawrence?
No, that's what the Vikings are doing.
Oh,
I
and
mean-
the Eagles.
Yeah.
And all
I
of our
mean, in
favorite
all
teams.
honesty, I think that they might. It hurts because I really like Sam Darnold. But, I mean, if you have a chance to get Trevor Lawrence, I say why not.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just going to be putting Trevor Lawrence in the same situation that Darnold's in.
Exactly.
No O-line.
Yeah.
That's what
no
I feel
wide
like.
receivers.
You can
I
put
mean,
anyone in there, and they're
Exactly.
you
Darnold's
can't
not,
expect a
Darnold's
lot.
not the problem, I don't
No.
think.
But he's not the solution either.
No.
No. They
He's not.
need
He needs to be in a perfect system for him to be successful.
They need wide receivers, and they need. I personally feel like they're missing two pieces on the whole line, and that's right guard, basically the whole right side of the line.
And then head coach.
Yeah, and head coach
Yeah.
and offensive coordinator.
There's no
defensive
way
coordinator.
Gaze. Is there any way that Adam Gase
Yeah.
finishes the season as the head coach?
Knowing the Jets,
I feel like
he
no
might.
way.
There's a way.
I feel like no way he
Knowing the
finishes.
There's
Jets
a
that
way.
they might. Woody Johnson is a complete trash owner. I mean,
Huh.
Joe
Oof.
Douglas has. I mean, he's been there 2 years, and actually had 1 year where he drafted. He did a pretty good draft. I didn't like the Jamal Adams trade that much, but if you look at it, I mean, we got 2 first-round picks. We got a pretty decent safety from Seattle.
And he was unhappy there, so it was either just get stuff or let him walk.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I like
Yeah.
what Joe Douglas did in getting those picks and getting the safety from Seattle. Because, I
Yeah.
mean, at the end of the day, we have 3 solid safeties.
So just the way it is, our highest scorer for fantasy on Thursday night was Melvin Gordon. 24.8. How did that feel, Julian? Another rocking right off the bat.
So I did not watch any of the game. Actually, We were in Little Italy, and we were walking past Ballast Point, and on the TVs they were playing the game, and the 10 seconds that we were walking past, it was Melvin Gordon's first touchdown.
Wow.
Ruined the night.
Destiny.
Yeah, and that's all I saw of the game.
23 carries, 107 yards, and 2 TDs. And one of them was that 50-yarder at the end.
And then 0-4 for Julian.
Yeah.
Hey, but
Hey,
like
it's
I
early.
said,
It's Thursday.
Hey,
Like I
you,
said.
like you said.
I can go 0-5, I think, and potentially still salvage it. But
Have
after
hope.
that point,
That's a lot of hope.
Oh,
It's just
14.
hope at this
Oh.
point.
I got lots of hope.
Mm.
I mean, hey, you get to play Jimmy. You get to
Jimmy Rock.
play Jimmy. Oh yeah, Jimmy did rock him. I forgot. So that's tough.
Did he rock you?
I beat him by like 13, so
Yeah.
it wasn't
the worst.
it wasn't the worst. Yeah. So Sam Darnold finished with the second most points, 23.6.
If you played Sam Darnold at all, you're
That's a
completely
great
happy.
game.
That's
Yeah.
a great game for him.
46-yard touchdown.
No one was doing
Fin-
that.
no.
unless it's David.
I mean,
Sleeper.
he
Or
played.
if
He
you
played
have
really
a
good.
Quarterback league.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
this
played-
would be the matchup to play him though, honestly, because
For
the
real.
Broncos are pretty bad. He finished with 230 passing yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, and then 6 carries for 84 yards and a touchdown. So he
Yeah,
basically
he-
just posted like
Running numbers.
running back numbers.
He had half his points in the first drive, though.
He did, yeah, and it was all on the 46-yard touchdown.
All of it.
Yeah. So I mean, not the worst. And
He was
then
hurt, though.
finishing third was wide receiver Tim Patrick,
Hey.
20.3 points.
6 receptions though. That's
Yeah.
that's pretty good. So is he gonna?
20.3.
Where is he on that depth chart?
Yeah. Where do you put him in the list of all of the Denver
David,
receivers?
do you know
Right now,
that?
He's probably 2.
3, maybe 2. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Tim
Depending
Patrick.
on where you
I would put
KJ
him at
Hamler.
3.
And Noah Fant got hurt, but
They're-
it's not major.
They're kind of just
His
all
ankle.
No, it's a minor ankle sprain, so he'll be back definitely next week. Plus,
Yeah.
they get 3 extra days to
Of rest.
So
It's kind of just him, Deshaun Hamilton, like
Jerry Jeudy.
Jeudy and KJ Hamler. They're all just kind of battling for whatever, number 1, number 2, number 3. I'd say Jerry Jeudy is probably the number 1, and then after that, it's just whoever. Which Tim Patrick showed up today, so that was good for Broncos fans. All right, so getting into our first segment, we're talking about the biggest matchups of the week, and the 10 o'clock game actually has a lot of good games. Houston, Minnesota, Dallas, Cleveland, Chicago, and Indianapolis, and Seattle, Miami. What are we most excited for?
We have to watch.
Seattle.
I feel like we have to watch Seattle. Miami.
Seattle.
Yeah,
That's
That's
the-
gonna be
I
the
bet you the
game.
most fantasy points are going to come out of that game.
Yeah,
Seattle,
Really?
Miami.
For real.
absolutely.
See?
Oh yeah.
For my matchup of the week, I'm with most fantasy points. I'm thinking Green Bay and Atlanta.
Oh,
I think that's a
no. We're just
We're
talking
talking
about 10 o'clock
the
games.
games.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I
We'll
think
get
it
to
could
that.
be up there, though. Those are for sure the 2.
Yeah, I mean Chicago and Indianapolis
That
could.
could be
Yeah.
low
Potential.
scoring.
It has
could be
potential,
low
but
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Very big stink.
Philip Rivers
I
is
don't
never
know.
really
Dallas,
crazy
Cleveland could
against
be
the
a-
Bears.
Yeah,
For
that could
fantasy
be-
wise, that could be a good
There are
scoring
a lot of
game.
players in that game.
Yeah,
How's Dallas defense like really this year?
I mean,
Not
no,
really.
Okay.
yeah.
Not really much, but
I think I saw they were
Bad enough for the Browns to walk all over them?
I say Dallas.
That would be pretty bad.
Like,
Yeah,
Dallas smokes Cleveland this weekend.
yeah.
They need a win.
I need Zeke to go off, so that'd be
Yeah,
nice.
he'll go off.
This is definitely a game written for him. I feel like they're just gonna run the ball. straight
yeah,
up.
this could be Zeke's week.
Is
Yeah.
there only 2 1 p.m. games? Was the other one supposed to be the Titans and the Steelers?
I think one of them
Oh,
was
yeah.
supposed to be the Titans and Steelers.
Oh.
do not
But,
play any
I mean-
players of the
No,
Titans
they were
and
at 10.
Steelers.
Yeah, take them out of your
Yeah.
lineup.
Take them out.
The other 1 o'clock games are the Rams and the Giants. So I didn't even put them.
Oh,
'cause,
yeah.
yeah,
Stinkers.
yeah,
Stinkers.
and that's it. So there's,
Okay, New England, KC for sure
Yeah,
is the game. But
definitely.
Buffalo,
That's gonna be a
Buffalo
really
Las
good
Vegas
game.
is gonna be a good
Vegas.
game.
that's gonna be a very
That's an
good game.
entertaining game.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
was going to say. I feel like that could be more of a watch than KC.
I
New
feel like
England.
we'll definitely have both of those up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Raiders have a revamped offense. They can keep up.
Yeah.
especially most fantasy lineups are going to involve Josh Jacobs and Waller and Stephon Diggs,
Absolutely.
Devin Singletary even at like the
Derek
flex
Carr's
position,
not that
Derek
bad.
Carr,
He actually hasn't
Yeah.
been a pick this year.
And
Josh-
if you're Gilbert,
Josh Allen.
Hunter Renfro,
Hunter Red,
Yeah.
shout
in
out.
daily
Yeah.
leagues, in daily leagues,
Oh,
you
man.
could play.
Daily leagues.
Yeah, and then
Only.
and that transitions
Asterisk.
into probably one of the worst Sunday night games.
That's
In a
tough, 'cause
long
Yeah.
At
time.
the beginning of the season, it probably looked so
Oh, it
good
probably-
on the
yeah.
schedule.
They were expecting them both to be maybe
Healthy.
undefeated,
Yeah.
2-1. Yeah.
And now it's just a stinker.
And the Eagles had one active receiver, practice.
I'm gonna talk
today.
about that
Just
later.
one.
Hey, I think he gets
Just
20
one.
targets this week.
Greg Ward.
Who?
Greg Ward.
Greg Ward,
baby.
the machine.
Good.
Yeah,
That
Greg
man,
the
I was
machine
saying
Ward.
that guy's an Iron Man.
And it's
He's
third-
the only guy there.
it's Thursday, so it's too late to
But
sign people.
San Francisco looked
So-
good last week, though.
It-
They put up points.
Yeah,
The
no,
Niners
they-
definitely could still put up points.
Yeah.
Against who, though?
I honestly think the
Eagles.
Niners will win.
Who did the Niners put up points
Oh,
against?
the
Giants.
Giants. So it's, yeah.
But the
I mean,
Eagles
look
are
at the
like,
Eagles.
The Eagles
yeah.
are just as bad this year.
I want to say
It's
just as
sad to
bad,
say,
but they're bad.
Washington.
Go Birds.
The Bengals.
Yeah, go Birds, I guess. That's going to be a stinker.
Monday night, though. A lot of points.
I'm praying for
Monday night.
A lot of
Yeah.
points.
It's got to
For
be
the
a
Eagles to
shootout.
show up.
It's got to be a shootout game.
praying.
And then Monday night, we got Green Bay and Atlanta.
Matt Ryan
That's my
throws
favorite
four
game of the
touchdowns.
week for me. That's the one I'm looking at.
Really?
Looking forward to, I
I
should
hope
say.
Julio's playing.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams plays.
Calvin Ridley
Yeah.
just popped up on the
He was
injury
limited.
report. Questionable. with
Everyone's on the
Everybody.
report.
Yeah.
D-Hop was on the injury report.
season
Miles
is
Sanders
tough.
on the injury report.
Yeah. Monday
Tough.
night, you could easily have like 10 guys in your lineup throughout your league
Like if-
for Green Bay and Atlanta.
If you have a team with no injuries up to this point,
yeah, you're
Congrats.
yeah, you're
I don't know how you're doing.
you
that.
are one
Todd.
of the
Do
best
something.
drafters
yeah.
if you have no injuries at this
You're
point.
the luckiest son of a bitch.
Yeah. No, that's for real.
Son of a-
So, getting into our next segment, Chump Watch.
Oh.
And
Man.
we got some chumps here.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I think I'll start, and I think my Chump Watch is a guy who absolutely went off last week, and Julian can vouch for that because he destroyed Julian's whole week 3 experience.
That might be a common theme throughout the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
That might be a common
Yeah.
theme.
So
Look for it.
Tyler Lockett. I don't know if he has a really bad game or if they're just gonna go up if they're just gonna beat Miami like right out the gate.
See,
And
that's how I feel about him every week. I'm just
and
like,
then he produces. So
It kind of hurts that you said that
I-
because I love Tyler Lockett.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly.
No, I know. I mean, the last 3 weeks he's been really good as a receiver, but I think this week maybe he just takes a
Little
step
dump
down.
off.
he might
Yeah.
just be due for not a crazy game.
Yeah, not a
For sure,
crazy
Yeah,
game.
but solid numbers.
We'll say 8 to 12 points. That's no
Yeah,
touchdown
yeah,
because he depends off of the
If he got 8 to 12 points and if he's in my lineup, I'm like, damn, but I'll take it. Type
Yeah.
situation.
He's going to go off just because he said that.
Oh, I know. He's going to get another 35-point game
Yeah.
just because I said it.
So since we just talked about the Eagles and Niners game, my chump watch is going to be Miles Sanders. So obviously he gets lots of touches on this team, but it's looking like it's a very bad team, and they're empty touches with an O-line that is also very bad and very injured. Like Justin said, they only had one healthy receiver, and that basically means teams are going to load the box, and Miles Sanders is going to be going up against
A good
more
defense.
defenders
Yeah.
and a good front defense.
Yeah.
Right now, the 49ers defense is ranked number 1 against fantasy running backs. So they
That's not
only allow 15.37 to the position per game. And that's pretty low. Because last week we were talking about Carolina, and they were in the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, San Francisco only allows 15. And then we were saying Miles Sanders was injured, so he hurt his glute. So it's a glute injury, and he's been limited at practice all week. So with all those factors, to me, and maybe less snaps or less of a workload because of the injury, that I feel like he's a little more risky for me this week.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It might be a Boston Scott type of game.
Oh, that would be a
Boston
fucking...
Scott.
I mean, I don't know what to expect.
I could
honestly,
see it
'cause-
already. That
That's a man-
fucker
that's a
running
man
it
to
in
pick
from the
up.
1 yard line
I
instead
think
of
it's
Miles
gonna be
Sanders.
Greg Ward and Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
You if you're an Eagles fan, you pray for that.
I mean,
I think
that's
that's all
the
they
only
got.
thing we have.
Yeah.
We don't have anything else. We honestly might have Corey Clement line up alongside Greg Ward because we have no other
That's
receivers.
gross.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
going to be a bunch of practice squad dudes out there.
It's gonna be, it's
What's
gonna be
up,
tough.
dude?
Yeah.
That's what they're going to be saying in the huddle.
The quarterback is going to
It's
be like, who are
literally,
you?
it's literally gonna in the huddle. They're gonna know maybe like 4 of the people. It's
Yeah.
gonna be 4 familiar faces and then just
That's
random
so
people.
funny, honestly.
And Carson Wentz is going to get killed.
Oh, yeah.
San Francisco's line, even though they're not that great, is going to destroy the Eagles.
R.I.P. Carson.
And the
Yeah.
Eagles proved last week they are garbo.
Yeah,
Pretty
I
bad.
mean they proved that week 1 when they lost.
But
to
they
the team with
solidified
Notre
it.
Dame.
Like, they
Yeah.
got the signatures out and everything, bro.
Mhm. We couldn't even lose.
Couldn't
we
even
couldn't
do
even
anything.
we couldn't even lose. It would have been better to lose for a draft pick. Now that we tied, we're gonna
Watch
get,
that
we're
fuck
gonna
you
get,
out of the first pick.
It will be like 5th. Like
Oh,
it will
that'd be
move back
rocking.
like 4 picks. Yeah.
I could see you now.
Even when the Eagles are bad and need to lose, they still can't do that.
I see nothing good for them this season.
I second that.
Well, on top of Miles Sanders, I think another chump is going to be Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
Right now, I just kind of see him as inconsistent. He went Lions week 1 and he put up 12 points on 5 rec for 74 yards and nothing. And then he did nothing the second game against the Giants and the third game against Atlanta, which is Atlanta.
We're here in
Getting-
Atlanta.
Yeah, gain a TD over 100 yards, and he got 28 points. I don't see him as consistent, so I think he's gonna take a little dump off against the Colts.
He could.
It's funny because me and Ryan were talking about this before the podcast. I was thinking about putting him for the transcendent talent segment, just because I feel like his value.
I think-
Bro, his value is gonna go so much higher with Nick Foles running the offense.
For sure, I think
Trubisky was just a bum.
Nick Foles passes to him.
He will.
I think
feel like
they're
he
gonna
will.
have to throw.
He had
this-
double-digit targets last week.
He always has double-digit targets. That's why he's drafted high, because he's a guy who
Volume.
he's always open. He's open,
But now they have a quarterback who can
Trubisky-
actually hit those windows
yeah.
For sure.
and have the vision. Just see the field better.
Mhm.
Because
Do you think
Trubisky,
that-
I feel like, is blind.
You think Nick Foles is like good?
No, I don't think he's good, but I just thought Trubisky was bad.
I mean, came in for the Eagles and won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but that was
What else can you say about that?
Those were years ago, the good days.
Oh, Nick Foles is still that guy, man.
I hope so. I like Nick Foles.
Well, I think my chump of the week is going to be Travis Kelce, Mr. Consistent. They played New England this week, and last week the Patriots played the Raiders, who have Darren Waller, another top tight end in the league, and they held him to 2 catches and 1.9 fantasy points by putting Stephon Gilmore on him and blanketing him. So I think if the Chiefs were to do that, or if the Patriots were to do that to Travis Kelce and just blanket him with Stephon Gilmore, I think that could really limit him again. But it's tough with all those weapons on the Chiefs' offense. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
if you're Belichick, are you gonna put your best person on Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce?
That's tough.
And
That's definitely
Like,
really
if
tough.
you're making
But,
that choice, like, what are you
He
doing?
Probably-
knows how to
probably
eliminate
Devin
your best player,
McCurdy.
though.
I feel like Belichick definitely aims at Tyreek
Tyreek
Hill
Hill.
and Travis Kelce. I feel like those are the main ones that he's got to eliminate.
But do we think Travis Kelce is going to have a bad game?
I mean,
Because
I think
he could get locked
he's
up.
the
bad
tight
for
end
Kelce
one.
is probably
6
below
points.
10.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would agree on that.
Yeah.
Below
He is-
10's pretty bad
He's
for
a
him.
he's a
That's
lock
true.
to get you 15
15.
at least every week, and I think 10 or below is a rough week for him, and I think that's what he's in for.
I mean,
I can see that.
especially if he's like your third best player. Like you can't be
Yeah,
getting, you
I was
can't be
thinking
getting
that.
under 10 points.
You draft him the 2nd or 3rd round,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
can't. You need that point production.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely. I mean, Tyreek Hill's a guy that they have to guard at all times because he can kill you at any.
He
given
does.
moment.
He has the home run back breaking plays that end the game
Yeah.
type situation. Like
Yeah.
if he makes a play, that momentum and that energy, that team is just gonna be like, oh well,
Yeah.
that's the play that fucking killed us when they're watching film. They're gonna point to the Tyreek.
I mean,
Hill
Travis
touchdown.
Kelce's kind of the same way too, just not as high a volume,
not as
like,
potent.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's like a 3rd and 7,
He's a
like,
possession
you
doesn't
gotta
do it all
catch
in one
threat.
You
Yeah.
you gotta guard Travis Kelce though on like 3rd down
Absolutely,
big
yeah.
plays because that man is an animal.
So, my chump is someone who I regretted playing last week, and that is Mr. Odell Beckham.
Oh no, Beckham.
Averaging only 9 points, which is really just sickening. 3.7 in
Sick.
game 1. Made a kind of a comeback in game 2 with 15.4, and then right back down to 7.9. Couldn't even get 8 points. And on top of that, he's actually questionable right now. He has some back issues, and Baker's out there just messing everything up. So it's just going bad for Odell.
I feel like Odell should just
Retire?
No, not retire. But he's gonna. He's a
trolling.
He's a player who's lost his stature. Right now, it's just he's always on the chump watch for me. I'm never trying to play Odell.
He's always on your bench.
Yeah, he's always on your bench, or he's your flex if you have players on a bye week.
Or if he has a good matchup.
Yeah, or if you're devastated by injuries. But if you're healthy and have all those things going, he should be on your bench.
Which is crazy.
He used
That's
to.
Odell.
He used to be the number 1 receiver.
Yep.
for a little bit.
That
but,
guy.
I mean, I feel like we talk about him every week. It's just Odell just
That's what I'm saying.
gets
Like,
worse and worse.
he's
by
gonna
every week.
have a game where he's gonna pop off, and then everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, Odell,"
Yeah.
but it's like he's past that point now. Like,
Every time we watch NFL Fantasy Live, Adam Rank is always talking about that's his favorite player and everything.
I
But
bet it is.
he just never produces. So, speaking of someone who doesn't like Adam Rank very much, Stephon, who's
Yeah,
your chump of
fuck
the
that guy.
who's your chump of the week?
yeah, bro, give Adam Rank your Twitter handle, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. My chump of the week is Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
I feel like both teams have had a little trouble passing the ball. So, I don't know. I feel like they're going to try to run a lot with Jonathan Taylor. It's going to be unsuccessful. Colts defense is looking pretty nice. The Bears D is looking pretty nice. And I feel like both teams might have to air it out a bit. Phillip hasn't looked too good. The Bears D might capitalize on that. And, Colts D might capitalize on Nick Foles getting back in the rhythm. So,
Yeah.
I feel like they could be airing it out.
I
Not
feel-
too much running that game.
I feel like that's one of the hardest games of the week to predict because like
They could be super low scoring.
Which
like,
one?
the Chicago
Bears
Indianapolis
Colts.
game.
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe both their defenses step up. Maybe
I feel
both
like
their
that's a
defenses.
defensive
There's not any like
Yeah,
huge
that's what I think,
fantasy
too.
winners in that game, and
Yeah.
that's why
If there's going to be any winners, it might be like the Bears D or the Colts D.
for
Mhm.
sure. And the Colts defense last week.
Or Jimmy Graham,
Wow.
Nick Foles'
No,
favorite
it's
target.
for sure gonna be Jimmy Graham. He's popping
Turning
off.
back
He
the
was.
clock.
Jimmy
Yeah.
Graham and Mo Alley Cox.
Oh,
Watch
the
out.
two tight ends, the two newly
Yeah.
waiver wired tight ends.
Watch out.
Yeah, hopefully it's neither of them. But I don't think it's going to be Jonathan Taylor this week either.
Feel that. All right, so going into our transcendent talents, which are candidates who we think are going to exceed expectations from their projections or have a bounce back week. So I think that Cam Newton is going to have a bounce back week especially from last week. He had 11. So I know Kansas City looked really good against Baltimore, but
They did. Their
Bill
defense
Bel-
was crazy.
But Bill Belichick is going to have a plan. He just always does.
Cam's
So
gonna get a rushing touchdown against the Chiefs.
if he gets one rushing touchdown, it makes his game,
yeah,
his fantasy day, pretty
Saved.
relevant. Yeah, so I can definitely count on Cam this week, especially because they're gonna have to score points to stay in the game with Kansas
Yeah.
City.
for sure.
Well, since you just did a bounce back candidate, I'll go ahead and go because mine is the same. It's a bounce back.
Mhm.
So mine is going to be Mark Andrews. I believe he
Okay.
is finally due for a bounce back week. He had 2 bad weeks in a row, and he's Lamar's favorite target. And they were the number 2 offense behind the Chiefs last year. Number 1, they were top 2.
He always murders bum teams.
Absolutely.
Always goes off.
So or he had 3.4 against Houston and 3.7 against Kansas City, and people who are drafting him are wishing for a lot more points than that. Like that's pretty
He
bummish.
played Cleveland the first week and got 20 points, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
There you go.
he still had 11 targets in both those weeks combined, which is not bad for a tight end, and he had 8 alone last week. So like he's getting
Bounce
targets.
back for sure.
Yeah,
And the Washington football team is the 5th worst for tight end fantasy points. So they allow 17.43 a game to that position, which is a lot because tight ends don't score as much as running backs or receivers or whatever. So they're the 5th worst. So look for Lamar and the Ravens to try to exploit that mismatch. So yeah, I think it's a big rebound week ahead, and Lamar and this pass offense have to get rolling at some point. So why not
Yeah.
start this week?
that's true.
All right, well, I have Joe Mixon, aka Toe Mixon. Last week I was saying trade the toe, but honestly, this week I'm based on a little bit of a hunch. I think he's gonna potentially go off. He got 17 carries last week,
Mhm.
so the carries are there. He just needs to
Yeah,
put some effort in.
the
But
Bengals just need to
if he
do that.
doesn't do well this week, then trade the toe. Really, that's all I got for him.
You think it might be a little too late if he doesn't produce this week? Then
If you are still a toe owner and you had him for 4 weeks and he does bad against the Jags,
yeah.
get rid of him.
I mean, it might
If
be
you
hard
can.
if you can. Yeah, that's
And
the
then-
thing. It might be hard.
I don't even know who the Bengals are going to start.
What do you
Giovanni
think?
Bernard?
No, I mean
And then
he'll be
he's
the
gonna get
starter
the-
the whole week or the whole year, and he'll get his carries. He'll get 15 to 20 to maybe 25 carries.
They just
if he
gave
has
him a
good game.
fat contract.
Yeah,
They're not
that's
going to
So,
He's
They're
gonna
have
get
him to the
touchdowns.
side.
Yeah, it's just
It's
for
just
fantasy.
Their offensive line is horrendous.
And for fantasy, he's just kind of a bum. But like to the Bengals, he's their star player, so they're gonna feed him. But he just cannot produce.
Not my star.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Ryan, how do you feel about Joe Mixon? Because he went to Oklahoma. How did you feel when he went?
Oh,
from
he had
Oklahoma
great
to the-
potential.
Yeah.
Every Oklahoma guy, like, you look at him and you're like, damn, they got some fucking talent. Because Oklahoma is always the number one
always
offense.
have
You
good
got the best
offenses.
receivers,
Yeah.
quarterbacks, running backs, even the O-line.
Yeah.
So your expectations are high, and it's usually true.
Yeah.
With Mark Andrews and
CD
you got
Lamb,
Marquise
right?
Brown, C.D. Lamb,
Yeah.
bunch of guys like that.
Mhm.
Let's see, transcendent talent. I got a person who's gonna exceed expectations. Devin Singletary.
Damn, David would like to hear that.
Yeah,
but
David would like to hear that, but he just left
he
the
just
little
left.
studio.
I don't know where he went.
Yeah, did he leave?
Nah,
He tiptoed out.
he wouldn't leave without saying goodbye to the podcast.
So Devin Singletary against the Raiders for Week 4. Game 1, he put 9 rushes, 5 rec for 71 yards. He still has 0 TDs throughout the year, so keep that in mind.
Yeah.
He's due for a TD pretty soon.
Devin Singletary?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
here he-
and he's
here he
looking pretty
comes.
good every game.
But I don't put too much stock in him. Like,
No?
Zach Moss was out the last game, so he had a chance to really take over the reins of the backfield.
And he didn't.
He didn't. And this week, Zach Moss might be back.
Yeah.
And then it's just back to the
And
concept.
and Las Vegas they got a good team. I mean, what do you feel about that, David?
Devin Singletary.
Devin Singletary.
Well, I traded him for a reason.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. That's
you
right.
hear that,
is
Devin?
right.
Dang.
You hear that,
Yeah,
Devin?
doesn't have him.
He's kind of like in the same situation as Mark Ingram.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
They're
can-
about the same tier of player.
And it's crazy because they have like the 2 best offenses, but their running game they can't pick one for fantasy. They're just all good. It's crazy.
I just think Zach Moss is just what the Bills are looking for. And
Yeah.
bring back that big physical runner.
Mhm.
Give it to him on the 5-yard line. He'll be
The
able
Mike
to get
Gillisley of old.
Yeah, he'll
Gillis.
he'll vulture some touchdowns.
there.
Definitely.
That's a throwback name right
Devin
there.
Singletary's just too little.
Damn,
Dang, bro. You hear that, Devin?
Devin.
Okay, so I'm banking on Josh Jacobs having a bounce back week. Last week, as we talked about in our recap, was major game script problems. Oakland or Las Vegas being down, and they're playing the Bills this week. They're kind of in the middle pack of allowing, on running backs are like 11th or 12th, and allow 22, 23 points to running backs. But I think Las Vegas gets back to doing what they do best, and that's rushing Josh Jacobs as much as possible. So I think, like Ryan said, I think little Devin Singletary, I think Josh Jacobs, I think they're gonna be in charge of the game flow.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely.
both of them.
2 good defenses too. So that game is just gonna be good. It's gonna be a shootout. I think
Which one?
the Buffalo Las Vegas in Las
Yeah.
Vegas in the Death Star.
We got to go to a game when things are normal. I'd be down.
Oh, I would love to. You gotta pay like $500 a ticket though, probably.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Vegas.
Yeah. Win it all back in one hand.
Chargers, Raiders. And I'll go get killed in
Yeah,
the black
and
hole.
they'll still be fighting even though they're not in Oakland.
Yeah, you
anymore.
guys will take me home and I'll just be a bag of bones.
Yeah.
They would kill me. Bro, Raider fans are crazy.
What do you think about Raider fans?
Are
bad
Vegas
Yeah,
Raider fans
you Raider
crazy now?
fans, you creeps.
Are Vegas Raider fans crazy?
Yeah.
now?
The Vegas Raider fans are just going to be Vegas.
I
They're
heard
for sure different.
They're
my
different.
mom and family just got back from Vegas, and some dude, I guess, was wearing a Seahawks jersey over there and ended up getting shot by Raiders.
Oh my god.
That's what I mean by the
So
you heard it
Raiders.
here
the
first.
same, then.
So they're
One
just
the
as
same.
bad.
Yeah.
That's breaking news.
They basically all just migrated from Oakland to Las Vegas. So
Yeah.
that's tough.
And all that money they're saving on housing, they're gambling.
Yeah, they're gambling. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
City of sin. What can you do?
Sin. That's what you do.
Yeah, you go there and you sin. And you bet on the Las Vegas Raiders.
All right, so our next segment, the over-under. So to start it, Kyler Murray, over-under 20 points. 20.1 fantasy
Carolina.
points. Carolina.
Over.
At Carolina.
Over.
Over.
Shoot that
yeah.
over.
I would say over, too.
The way he's
Carolina.
been running in touchdowns
Yeah.
this year against the worst rushing defense,
You think if
no problem.
he doesn't have a rushing touchdown, is it still over?
Yes. I think so.
Yes. I think he's
20.
been playing really well. Even though he had a couple interceptions last week, overall, he's looked like a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't hit 300 yards passing,
But he's
but
thrown more picks and touchdowns.
yeah.
Well, he's
But-
still
but
ran-
he-
Let
Yeah,
him
you
get
know.
rolling.
Okay, but he's still been running in a lot.
Yeah.
which
No. That's what I'm saying.
In
but
fantasy, he's been more than viable. He hasn't had
Yeah.
less than 20 points.
I think if he
And he's been throwing more picks and touchdowns. So if he's able to turn it around,
doesn't
Well,
get a
it's
rushing
not
touchdown, then I could see it being a little bit under. But if he gets a rushing touchdown, it doesn't matter how many passing.
nobody
yards.
is like Jameis, bro. Jameis is one of a kind.
Hey, he threw a bunch of touchdowns though,
And a lot of
And a lot of
interceptions.
Just as
Interceptions.
many.
yeah. All
30
right,
for 30. ESPN.
Lamar Jackson, 22.2 fantasy points.
Who are they playing?
Washington football.
Oh.
Washington football.
Down.
Their D line is sneaky good, but without Chase Young, it might be kind of a wreck.
I don't know. I would say Lamar for like every week we've done already.
You want to say over every week.
Yeah, but it's like he's not
20
produced.
he hasn't
22.
gotten over it.
Yeah.
22 is kind of a lot too. Like
It is.
I'm surprised.
And that's like disrespectful that we have to say that about Lamar Jackson.
I know.
22 is
20
a lot. Like the
yeah.
way he's been looking, 22 is a
I mean,
lot. the last
97
few weeks.
passing yards.
Yeah,
That
that would
was-
totally take advantage of that.
Yeah, no, I do think that Lamar has a bounce back day. So
But
I-
they could be up and they could run it too.
it all depends what they do in the end zone. Because
Yeah.
if he
I'll say
doesn't-
over. I'll say over.
I'll say over, but he needs a rushing touchdown.
Yeah,
I'll say
I
over,
agree
yeah.
on that.
I
Yeah.
think he'll get one. Though.
I agree on that. He needs a rushing touchdown to get over.
Yeah. Because he'll probably get what? 1 or 2, maybe 3 passing touchdowns.
3's stretching it.
They're gonna get back to
He
doing
just
what
does-
they do best, and they're gonna
Yeah.
run the ball.
Yeah. You don't think any? I mean,
But that
Well-
means with him too.
what
Yeah,
we've seen in
absolutely.
the past
Yeah.
is like long bombs to like Marquise Brown, and like, do you think we see any of that against the football team?
Maybe early in the game
Maybe early in the game,
before
yeah.
it's still
Just to like set the tone.
exactly
I could
coming
definitely
out
see
the
it.
half.
So going into our running backs, Josh Jacobs, 15.9.
Stephon, take
Yeah,
this.
Stephon, owner. Josh Jacobs, owner.
That word offends me.
That sounds about what I'm expecting out of him.
Yeah.
I'm expecting 80, 90 yards and a touchdown. But that's better than last week.
Yeah,
So give me the over, but not too much.
you're cutting it.
yeah,
you're cutting it close.
around there. That's a good base, 15 points.
If you were betting at Barona, are you going over or under? $50 bet, over or under.
Over.
All right.
Ogre.
You said that with some confidence.
All
Yeah.
right. You think he catches the ball? He gets in the passing game a lot? Or?
I gave him 3-4 receptions for 30, 40 yards.
Yeah, because that's honestly where running backs get their
Value
their
in
value.
PPR leagues.
Uh huh.
I think if you get 17, 18 out of Josh Jacobs, you should be happy this week.
Yeah, definitely. All right, another running back, David Johnson, 12.9.
Over.
Who are the
The Vikings.
yes, over.
Yeah.
Julian's taking every over for
Really?
all the Texans players.
Honestly, the way the Vikings D line has played, just the way the whole Vikings team has played, I don't know. Their defense is not good.
Yeah.
It's just young, and like the veterans are kind of getting up there in age.
Mm.
Daniil Hunter hasn't played, so it's kind of.
And he's one of those guys that can do a little pass catching, so David Johnson could definitely
Yeah,
get some value
that's what I'm
from
saying.
it.
If he's able to get, and that is one thing that the Vikings have struggled with over the years is
Yeah.
covering running backs out of the backfield.
Yeah.
So
If
Yeah,
that's the case,
I-
definitely over.
I hope David Johnson eats. He's on my team, and honestly, I just want the Vikings to not win a single game this year.
Yeah. I think he's one of those guys that you don't need to be touchdown dependent because he can have a little bit of value, especially if
He
the
has a
line-
high floor.
If the line is 12.9, I don't think you need a touchdown exactly
Yeah.
because he can
He's
catch.
played 85% of the Texas
Yeah,
snaps.
and
I feel like-
he's in all the time.
Yeah.
So I think David Johnson could be
That
due.
game has potential to be high scoring. So
Yeah, definitely.
could be.
So going to our wide receivers, Michael Thomas coming back from injury.
Under.
15. Didn't even let me. Didn't even let me say 15.8.
Under.
I'm gonna go with Grant.
Under. Yeah.
I say the Saints get up early.
He
run it
he
with
was.
Kamara like crazy.
He was on
Raises
my-
and throw it into
I think
the bar.
Kamara's gonna be the story of that game against the Lions.
Yeah.
There's no reason to push your number one guy back like that and
Against
like give him a full
Yeah.
workload against a meaningless game that you're gonna win without him. Like
I don't know. I mean, the
he'll be
Saints-
good. I think
Yeah,
Michael
the
Thomas will
Saints-
get some
Yeah, the
good
Saints
catches.
haven't looked that great.
But-
And Detroit just beat Arizona.
But you can rely on Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, and Alvin Kamara to give you points. It's
Yeah.
just the defense, really.
Yeah. I was possibly thinking about putting him on my Chump Watch. But I don't know. I mean, 15.8. Michael Thomas gets receptions, though. So in a PPR
He still
league,
gets you 10, I
Yeah.
think. He still gets you 10.
just off of receptions.
Just
and
off
yards.
of
Yeah.
receptions and yards.
15.8's a little stretching it. But, like, we could be talking about this on the recap where he got, like, 25 or something.
We
Like,
just have to see
pretty
how
easily.
healthy he really is.
I would be pleasantly surprised if he dropped 25.
Yeah.
Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
I'd be like, damn, good for him.
Yeah.
Like, coming back and balling out.
that
Yeah.
kind of means he's, like, back.
He's back.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
you don't even have to worry about him.
All right, what about Devontae Parker, 14.2
Against
Over.
Seattle.
against Seattle?
I have him as
Over.
a top 10 receiver this week.
Over.
That was Stefan's bold prediction.
Just because I feel like they're going to be down. I feel like they're going to have to
They're
throw.
going to throw the ball the whole game.
Yeah.
Both teams.
Don't be surprised if he has 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. You heard it here first.
Ooh.
That's his bold prediction.
100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I mean,
100
That-
yards and a touchdown, I would say, okay, that's very attainable. 2 touchdowns,
Justin, give
you're
me
in the money now.
Bovada where it has Devontae Parker for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns.
well,
Justin's the Bovada expert,
yeah.
the sports gambling expert.
The guru.
Yeah.
So while I do that, let's talk about George Kittle, 10.3 points.
Ooh.
He's
Yeah.
playing. Yeah.
He's playing.
And no Jordan Reed, right?
Yeah.
Jordan Reed is gone.
Jordan Reed's gone.
That was
And
fun.
No injury report for him or anything.
I'll say over, just because who's
Nicky
going to guard him on the
Williams
Eagles?
is gonna
Oh, he's
depend
gonna
on
light up.
Is
the
Gary
Eagles.
going to guard him?
Oh,
That
yeah.
Nathan
Yeah.
that
Gary,
linebacker who's
please.
trash?
Terrible.
Please stop showing up to practice. Stop showing up to games. Please, that guy sucks.
Every highlight, that man is guarding
Oh my
someone.
God.
He's not even looking at the ball, and he's running
Yeah,
straight at the
his arm-
receiver. And it's like, bro, turn the fuck around. You don't even know the ball's coming. Like, you're so bad.
The Eagles have so many problems.
So many problems.
Absolutely.
I was talking to, I can't remember who, but I was literally saying we're gonna have to start over. Like our 3-4 years of being like
Everything is
good.
fucked.
Have you personally given up on Wentz?
Not Wentz. Wentz is like one of the only. Him and Miles Sanders and kind of Zach Ertz are the only people who I'm
Yeah,
like.
Zach Ertz is on thin ice in
He's
his
a-
book.
Zach Ertz is very
well,
nice.
I think Carson Wentz is a weenie, but he's a good
Oh, my-
QB.
No, Zach Ertz is
Weenie
the
or
Well,
Weenie Hut General?
Zach
Junior.
Ertz is a weenie, and
Big
Carson
wiener.
Wentz is a weenie head general.
Dang.
Wow.
I'm telling you, once he had his kid, it's all been downhill.
Really,
Yeah.
blaming it on his kid.
Yeah,
me-
bro, that's
me-
fucked,
me
bro.
and
Come on, get him out of here.
The
bro.
entire city of Philadelphia will blame it on his kid. Okay.
Blasting some Meek Mill showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
dreams
did-
and nightmares.
But did he kiss his kid on the lips though?
No, because he's not a creep like Tom Brady. that creep. What a creep.
Creep.
But yeah, Carson
Caught
Wentz,
you,
I'm not entirely giving up on, but he just, I mean, they could bench him in a week or two, and I'd be fine with it. Because it would be like when Miami was bad and they were just doing whatever, like having fun, looking at least exciting. They could run-
Philadelphia's for sure the next team to be doing what Miami was doing.
Yeah, because they
Let's move
got.
on.
Huh?
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on
Yeah.
because we don't want to talk
we were
about
talking
the
about
Eagles.
Kittle.
Yeah,
Oh.
we were talking about Kittle. So 10.1 over under. I don't
Over.
even think we got
Over.
Over.
Just off of receptions and yards, over.
I think we
Under.
can. I think we can all agree. Oh, David says the under.
That's a hot take.
That's a hot take, David. Came here for the hot takes.
And I love that guy.
All right, final tight end, Jimmy Graham, Nick Foles, BFF,
Jimmy
7.1.
Hey, if he has a good week again, go get him ASAP.
Yeah,
But if he puts up a .3, like,
yeah. What?
Then
Because-
drop him.
yeah, then he's droppable.
Because his waiver wire, he's been blowing up on the waiver wire. So
For no
Speechless.
reason, for a reason.
Yeah.
He's been looking nice.
he's owned by 42% of NFL leagues, and it's a 29% increase. He's been added in 28,000 leagues.
Remember
And
the
it-
years he was on the Seahawks and he would just get all those touchdowns? Like the 1 yard touchdowns?
It was only like 1 year. Though.
Yeah, the 1 year.
He was
He would
bad
get
on
all the
Seattle,
1
except
year
for 1
touchdowns.
Yeah.
So his line is at 7.9 or 7.1.
Yeah.
They're basically saying he's going to get
A
1 10-yard.
yeah, literally.
touchdown.
a 6-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which you're in the red zone.
Very
That's what you run it
doable with
for.
Nick Foles now.
And he could really end the game with 1 catch and it being the touchdown.
I mean, he caught 6 passes last week, and then week 2 caught 1 pass for 18 yards.
That's what I'm saying. It's so
And
sporadic.
then week 1 caught 3 passes for 25 yards. So yeah, he's very, very touchdown.
We're gonna learn a lot about Jimmy Graham this week. Whether he's droppable, like you said, or maybe I should get him and potentially play him.
And like I said, I think both teams are gonna have to throw the ball. So
Definitely.
yeah, if you don't get some production out of him, then give up.
Yeah. Just
Give up.
Definitely. So our next segment, don't sleep on them. So who are our super sleepers? Who wants to start?
I'm gonna go first.
All right.
Just because I kind of ran out of time. I don't have much evidence on this man right here, but I have Myles Gaskin. Just based on my gut that he might do something this week. I'm starting him this week
A lot of guts.
in the league. I don't know. It was just a hunch.
Mhm.
Hopefully, he doesn't
Doesn't
get
make a
vultured.
You
A bet,
think?
you said?
I mean,
Yeah.
Seattle's defense could be a little.
What?
I bet you
Well,
Myles
stingy.
Gaskin won't get more than 12 points.
And how much are we putting on the line here?
Make a $20 bet.
A $20 bet. Nah, that's a little bit.
Oh,
Oh.
dang! He's on your sleepers. 12 points isn't that bad.
12
Does
points
he-
is very doable.
Does he
That's
catch
a
the
very
ball?
doable.
Low-key.
Yeah, he catches the ball. He on the Thursday night game, he looked
Catch the
crazy.
ball. Give
Well,
him 12 points.
That deal
Well-
is now donezo because I'm going to talk
Oh,
about
man.
mine. He had the offer.
Damn.
So mine is going to be Brian Hill on the Falcons. So last week he had 9 carries, 58 yards, and a touchdown. It's looking like he's taking over the passing back role in that offense. And Green Bay gives up 37 points a game to running backs, and I feel like they're going to be down. I feel like Green Bay is going to be up a majority of that game,
Yeah.
but it's going to be competitive. It's going to be a competitive game, but I feel like Green Bay is going to be leading a majority of the way. And so they're going to be playing catch up, and it looks like this backfield is looking like the Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman situation with Todd Gurley and Brian Hill. So I feel like Brian Hill could see a little more usage this week due to the
A
matchup.
big factor too could be Calvin Ridley, who's
Absolutely,
questionable,
absolutely.
who didn't even practice on Thursday. So
And
I
if they're
mean-
down Julio too, which I don't think they will be, But-
in the slim chance that they're down Julio and Calvin Ridley,
Brian Hill's a flex.
he is you might need to put
What's up
Brian
with
Hill.
Russell Gage? Is he healthy?
He
got a concussion.
he got a
last week.
concussion, but I
He
think
went
he's been limited this week, so he's questionable. So definitely keep an eye on Russell Gage too, because he looks better to play than
Hayden Hurst?
Hayden Hurst, yeah, tight ends. I mean, Atlanta likes to throw the ball regardless
Yeah.
of who's out.
Matt Ryan's
So-
gonna have to. Someone's gonna have to get his 400
Oh,
yards
especially against
Throwing
Green
the
Bay.
ball.
Yeah, because Green Bay is going to be
up.
They're going to be up.
Well, on the other side of that ball, it's going to be Green Bay and A-Rod, possibly to Valdez-Scantling.
Mm.
Alright.
Now with Lazard out, and
What
I
a
think
turn of events.
Devontae
Yeah.
Adams still questionable. We don't know.
Yeah,
It's looking like he's gonna play.
yeah.
He's
but-
going to play.
Uh-huh.
I
But
think.
still,
I think.
questionable.
I think
Yeah.
he's.
No, he's still.
I think that's a sleeper right there. That's someone you can pick up right now.
And
Go
I
for
mean,
it.
the Falcons' pass defense looks like
Poopy.
yeah, they look like
Yeah.
they can give up points to anybody because the Cowboys took advantage of them, and who they played last week, the Bears really took advantage of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of looking like if you have a wide receiver playing Atlanta, they're usually worth a start.
And they already won against the Falcons, and he put up 19 points in game 1.
There you go.
So
So my sleeper for the week, or the guy who I really think you should start, who you might not be thinking of, is Darrell Henderson.
Okay.
He's had 19 and 18 points the last 2 weeks against decent run defenses, Philly and Buffalo. And this week they go up against the Giants, who are the Giants. Jerick McKinnon tore him up last week. Jeff Wilson also tore them up in the same game. There's no other explanation that needs to be.
Darrell Henderson was going to be my transcendent talent too, but I view him as already too established
I think
to be on that.
if he does good this week, then yeah, he's like
I agree.
like
This week
pretty-
is the prove it week.
I
This
feel
is
like
the
this
proof.
week he has like 25 points written all over him.
I could
hope.
yeah.
Hope so.
I feel that coming
And
this
especially
week.
they said Cam Akers is day to day,
Yeah.
and it doesn't look like he's gonna play. So
And this is going to be the week where I think he takes over
Yeah.
the backfield for the foreseeable future.
I could see you waking up at 10:15 and already seeing them winning 14-0.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well now
And the
they're
rest of the game,
now
it's
they're
just
just
going
gonna
to
run
Darrell
it,
Henderson
yeah.
time.
Yep, definitely. So my sleeper is Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Ooh,
Fitz
sleepy,
magic.
sleepy.
Yeah. So he's averaged. So week 1 he got 5 against New England, kind of had a stinker, and then the last 2 weeks he's gotten 24 and 24.
So plan.
Oh.
I don't need to because I got Kyler, but if you need a quarterback, I would definitely look at Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's only owned in 11.2% of leagues.
You don't have a reason this week to not play him if you don't have a better quarterback.
Yeah, Seattle is definitely going to put up points, so Fitzpatrick's going to have to put up points too. Projected 19.9. That's
Really? That's pretty high.
That's pretty high.
Over.
That's pretty
Over?
good.
Over.
They're projecting him at about what they project Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I think
That's
Fitz is
crazy.
the one in
That's
Seattle.
pretty much a tier 1 or tier 2
That's
quarterback
crazy.
projection.
Fitzmagic.
He had 30 rushing yards
You
and a
should see some
touchdown.
Fitzmagic out there this week.
Yeah. He only threw for 160 and 2 touchdowns. So I think he throws for at least 200,
He ran for
250
one, too.
yards. Oh, yeah, it was a really nice run.
He's
He-
not scared to. He'll get you a rushing touchdown.
He's turning on the wheels. That man is That man is what? In his high 30s?
I could see 300 passing yards from Fitz.
Yeah.
I could see it.
He might have to just to have them in the
Just
game.
to- yeah,
Touchdowns,
just to
maybe a
compa-
rushing one.
Just
Yeah.
to contend.
Good day.
Could be a good day.
Or it could be a turnover fest. 300 yards with 3 interceptions and no touchdowns.
Oh boy.
Week
type of
1.
day.
I don't know. I mean,
And then we'll give him a chance.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't looked that bad yet.
He hasn't. But I feel like every year it's like Fitz magic, and then
the
it's just
game's
like,
gonna come, but I don't think it's this week.
it's due at some point. It's due.
Maybe week 5 or 6.
definitely.
Jerry Jeudy looked kind of nice tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely a guy you can pick up.
yeah. I've had him a little bit. I'm kind of been waiting for him to pop off,
Mhm.
and I mean he's been kind of steady. He's averaging like 8 points.
I feel like he's at like 10.
I think he's
Full
gonna have a
points.
very.
He's averaged around like 8-9 points. But he's getting his targets. He's averaging 7 targets a game.
I think he's gonna be a slow but upcoming receiver in the next couple of years. I
Yeah.
think he's gonna have a slow rookie year right now.
I think by the end of this year, he's going to be
Popping
fantasy,
off.
like
Once
pretty
Drew
pretty
Lock-
fantasy relevant.
If Drew Lock is able to come back this year, then I think that'll definitely help.
He's
That's
not
the
even
other
looking that
situation
bad
with the
Brett
Broncos
White.
quarterbacks.
So
And Cortland Sutton's already out for the season.
Portland.
Yeah.
that's the number 1 receiver on
So
that
that's
team.
that's the number 1, and he's got a couple guys that are kind of competing for the number 2. So, I mean, they used the first round draft pick on him. They're definitely going to use him. It just matters about who they have at quarterback, and especially their defense is bad, so they're going to be throwing it regardless
Yeah.
against whoever they play.
And he's too fast to not get open for
He
a 50,
is-
60-yard bomb each game.
That is one thing that the Broncos wide receivers have is speed.
His release is ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, he can stay on the field because I think he'll be really good. You already gave yours. All right. So now we're going to talk about our locks of the week. And I think my lock of the week is the Rams versus the Giants, which is kind of a no-brainer.
It's a given.
Yeah, pretty explanatory. I don't know what to explain here. The Giants suck. So
So then let me just go to mine then.
all right, go for it.
You already know what it is.
Oh,
I'm picking Houston over the Vikings.
Oh my
that's just gonna be every week.
It's probably going to be a theme, but
Hey.
I mean,
Hey, I mean, last
I
week's
think
standings for lock of the week, me and Julian were the only ones
Yeah.
to win. So
I
Julian,
tied.
Yeah.
I think the Texans
Bitch-ass
right
Eagles.
now, the Texans had a really tough start to their season, playing the Chiefs and the Ravens the first 2 weeks. That's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
They played a little better against the Steelers last week, but still a really good defense. So I think this is the first matchup of the year for them where they're like, okay, this is a game that we are going to go out and
Yeah,
win.
we're going to go off.
Yeah. So I think the Texans go off, and you know what Kirk is going to do.
He's gonna be Kirk. He's gonna say,
Yeah.
"Dang it,
No, yeah.
dang it."
Yeah.
Gosh darn it.
You know,
That's some
Gosh darn
rude
it.
tootin' shooting right there.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
2021.
Bless
Oh,
up.
boy.
Oh man.
We already talked about the one that I picked right now, but I picked Seattle and Miami, and we've already pretty much gone over all the reasons why that's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Like, it should be high scoring.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it'll be
No, let's do
entertaining, and it'll just be an entertaining
Yeah.
game.
It's a pretty much a lock for Seattle unless
Yeah, I
the
locked
defense
Seattle, though.
costs them that much to where they lose the game.
And, like,
I don't see it happening.
Seattle's or Russell Wilson is pretty much the MVP. Lockett and
Yeah.
DK are looking unstoppable.
If
They
Chris
might be the
Carson
best
plays,
wide receiver duo to start the
might.
league.
they
To start the
definitely
year
might. Yeah.
so far, I think they might be the best.
Yeah.
Definitely might.
I'd say Julio and Calvin Ridley, but I mean,
Julio's
Julio's been hurt.
But you
Yeah.
got to look at the point. I'm talking like just pure point
In
production.
fantasy,
yeah.
they're definitely the best.
Yeah,
ones.
the
fantasy
best
for sure.
duos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that should be a lock to me.
And shout
Seattle
out
should
Russell
kill
Wilson
him.
for that.
16 or 14 touchdowns through 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's on pace for 80. Remember,
On
it.
pace
You heard
for
us.
80. Yeah, you heard it here first. So no upset alert for
No
Miami?
upset alert.
Stephon? If
Let's
you had
make
to
a
give
bet.
if you had to give a probability,
Do you wanna make a bet?
I don't think
Do you want to make a bet?
I mean, the odds aren't really in my favor.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but-
would
Hey,
you-
but you're just a diehard.
Hey, but would you pay him out like
Yeah,
like,
you'd have to
Oh,
pay
like-
him
like the
the bottom.
casino?
like the casino?
Oh man,
You gotta give
I don't
it
know.
like
We gotta
plus
see the odds.
300.
Yeah, you
We
got.
gotta see the odds.
Oh, I can move.
Did you ever
odds
find the
up.
odds for what Stephon asked you earlier?
No, they don't have them. Yeah,
I was telling Justin I might put $20 on the Dolphins winning as a
plus
homer.
plus 250. That's actually
Plus
not.
$250. I'd win what, $50?
If you put 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd win $50.
That's not terrible. So if
You
I
ready to-
bet 20 with you,
Yeah, so you
pay me
ready
out
to pay
50?
him out 50?
Okay, and then you would pay me out 40.
No, I pay
No,
out 20.
So he gives you 20.
Oh,
and if
so
he
I
wins-
would give you. Okay, so
So you would basically act as Bovada.
yeah.
And he,
What about Barona?
or Barona.
Sounds
he
spicy in the
So he
works.
gives you 20, and if he wins, you give him 50.
Okay, and
Because
if I
they're-
win, I get 20.
You get your money back.
Do we have a shake?
But you get
right
20
here?
off the bat.
Yeah, but like yeah. Seattle needs to win just for you to get 20.
Hey, we're live. You better shut
Yeah.
up.
I know.
Man, those are my
Making
two
the
teams
decision.
right there dueling.
I know. We'll talk about it a little later.
Yeah, we'll
Okay, okay.
All
Alright.
Después.
Hey, you can't say, we were just trying to make a bet. You're like, that's too
Yeah,
steep.
Yeah,
I gotta pay $30 more now if I make a bet with
Hey,
him.
right, you know, your Seahawks are the lock
Yeah,
of
the
the week.
Seahawks are the lock.
They are.
All right, Jake. Let's hear it.
Speaking of odds, I don't really know what the odds are for Buffalo versus the Raiders, but I'm taking Buffalo over the
Okay.
Raiders this week. I just want to see Stephon Diggs go off.
I like that pick, and I also agree with that. Stephon Diggs.
Stephon
Do me
Diggs
good,
and
bro.
Josh Allen.
Please, I'm begging you.
They're favored by 3.5. So minus
Nice.
170.
Really? Only 3.5?
I mean, the Bills are kind of.
Are they playing in Las Vegas?
They're playing in Las Vegas.
That's why.
Yeah, it would if it was in Buffalo, it'd be like 7,
Yeah.
6.5, 7.
That's crazy that they
Cool.
do betting odds like that, even with no fans or
Yeah.
like minimal fans.
It's all about like traveling and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, maybe we'll add a little betting segment to the show. I
Oh,
know,
that'd
I
be
know that
fun.
people are dying to
I
hear.
would love to add that to the show.
I would too. All right, Ryan, what you got?
I got Baltimore versus Washington, and Baltimore coming out on top. However, it kind of depends on that D line for Washington.
Yeah.
So, looking how things go, I mean, if Lamar can just break out for a few rushing touchdowns, then I think it's game over.
I feel like this is game over right after
Yeah.
kickoff.
Baltimore is favored by 14, and they're minus 1,000 money line odds.
But
So
they're
you
not
have-
the worst defense. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But they're just expecting.
that's true.
They're expecting Lamar to.
Yeah.
To
come
look
back.
like MVP form.
Yeah,
For sure.
definitely.
My lock of the week is the Dallas douchebags.
The Dallas
Douchebags.
douchebags, the cowgirls.
Because they are so
Ye-
desperate for a win.
No,
Yep.
we-
Okay, they are 1-2,
Yep.
and if they go to 1-3, that's pretty much a wrap.
Well, not in that
But-
division.
Yeah,
If you
not in
take a-
that division.
If you take a peek at their schedule, I think they've had the hardest schedule out of anybody. They
Yeah.
played the Rams, the Falcons, and the Seahawks
I mean,
last week.
the Texans.
the
The
Texans.
Texans have played what? Kansas City,
Baltimore,
Pittsburgh.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a gauntlet.
Dallas definitely has had.
Dallas has had a pretty
Yeah.
rough outing too. So this is the week they bounce back. Cleveland ain't shit. I say they put up 40 points.
I think even if Dallas loses, they're still pretty much like locked for that division, unless the Washington football team comes in. This might be a year where you could have a 6-10 team in.
That'd be pretty
in
cool.
an
God,
NFC.
that would be
No,
awesome.
that would not
That
be
would
pretty
be
cool. That would
nauseous.
suck.
But yeah, put the house on Dallas this week.
And Dallas is. What are their odds?
Minus 5 million.
Yeah, probably. Minus 220, only
All right.
4.5 point favorites. I would take the 4.5 point spread.
Oh
on
yeah,
them.
run it up.
Because they might make Cleveland look like a bunch of kids.
Give me 14
Honestly.
points.
And then, so how are we feeling on our bold statements?
So I liked my bold statement before, but I just want to give another one.
Okay.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one.
So Monday night, Julio and Devontae are going to combine for 55-plus points. That's my bold prediction. It's going to be a high-scoring matchup between the two, almost the top 5 or 2 of the top 5 receivers in the league.
Yeah.
On national TV, so should be a good one.
So my bold prediction is Aaron Jones and
Todd
and Calvin Ridley to have
really?
To have 2 touchdowns
each.
Yeah.
I think Todd has a nice game too.
Let's hope. Everyone's been hoping.
Let's hope.
But watch, Monday night it'll be like 10-3 at halftime or
The
something.
Green Bay Bush defense is pretty good.
Or one of those fuckers will test positive for COVID and it'll get
just
postponed.
kill everybody. That would suck.
Wow.
David, you got a bold prediction for week 4?
James White's going to go for 16.
Oh,
16.
All right.
Okay.
What about Rex Burkhead?
Yeah,
Nothing.
the 31-point man.
Is he going to be dropped right after this week again?
He goes back to his bench.
I think James White coming back from just personal issues and stuff like that. Cam likes to throw those little dump offs, and I think the perfect person for that is James White.
And the rookie, Taylor.
The rookie, Taylor. Yes, of course. We can't
What's his
forget
first
about that.
name, bro?
Who knows? Taylor.
He's the rookie.
During
He's
the
the
broadcast, they just referred to him every time he caught it. That's the rookie, Taylor.
The rookie, Taylor.
We're like, who is this fucker?
Nah,
Number 42, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
No, I'm going against James White in fantasy, and I hope he has a good day because that is.
Because you want to get rocked?
No, because of what happened to him in the last week.
Yeah.
That is
Oh.
something. Hey, man.
Yeah, he's got motivation to go out there and
He
have a
does.
good game.
Shout out
Yeah.
James White.
Yeah, he definitely
Let's
does.
do good this week.
Yeah, but not too good because I still gotta be dead.
Damn, bro, hate.
My bold prediction is the same.
Mhm.
It's Russ.
Yeah.
Let's remind the audience what's
Of
on
course,
the line.
we'll
here
remind
this
you
week.
every week.
Russell Wilson has thrown 14 touchdowns up to this point.
Yep.
I predicted that he will throw 6 this
Alright.
weekend against Miami.
Yep.
So he'll have 20 through
20.
4 weeks.
Yep.
And he'll be on pace for
80
touchdowns.
touchdowns.
80 touchdowns.
So, yeah.
Man. He's playing Madden on.
He's
On
playing
rookie.
Madden on real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. Anybody else?
I scrolled back up to my bold statement, and I was pretty surprised I put Watson for 4 TDs. I think he's gonna have a good game, but I'm gonna put him for 3 touchdowns.
No,
I think 4
That's not
is-
too bold.
That's not too
I think
bold.
you
though.
go
All right.
4 and
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
Then I'll
you
stay
got-
for them.
Yeah,
I'll stay for
these
them.
are, this is
I guess
bold
I gotta
predictions.
stay with them.
This is like some shit that you would gamble on Bovada.
Yeah.
Plus
Yeah,
1,000 odds
Yeah,
type
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So, and I think my prediction is plus 10,000 type odds. So, yeah. All right, so I think that's going to wrap it up for our Week 4 preview. Make sure to listen to the Fantasy Football Outsiders podcast on Spotify and YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Show us some love. Call in.
Yeah,
YouTube,
shout out
YouTube.
Joey Oli.
We had our
Shout
boy
out
David
Joey
on
Oli.
tonight.
Yeah.
Shout out
Come through,
EDP445.
Yeah, shout out EDP. If you don't listen to EDP or watch any of his videos, you're missing out.
He fell off though. He doesn't really care about
He
the
fell off a
Eagles.
little bit, but he's still,
We love him.
we still love him. We'll always love EDP.
Shout out EDP.
Shout out EDP. All right, so
Go Padres.
That'll
yeah,
do.
Go
go
Padres.
Padres.
All right. Thanks
Goodbye.
for. Yeah.